Only 5 years ago, man learned to write and use a cart with wheels. Christianity began less than 2 years ago. New ignorance, new problems, new dangers. Surely the opening vistas of space promise high costs and hardships, as well as high reward. So it is not surprising that some would have us stay where we are a little longer, to rest, to wait. But this city of Houston, this state of Texas, this country of the United States was not built by those who waited and rested and wished to look behind them. For the eyes of the world now look into space, to the moon and to the planets beyond. And we have vowed that we shall not see it governed by a hostile flag of conquest, but by a banner of freedom and peace. One of the great adventures of all time. Those who came before us made certain that this country rode the first waves of the Industrial Revolution, the first waves of modern invention. Of the coming age of space, we mean to be a part of it. We mean to lead it. Its hazards are hostile to us all. Its conquest deserves the best of all mankind. And its opportunity for peaceful cooperation may never come again. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, we choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win on the other side.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
I think the momentous, most memorable thing that I can recall about that particular day was the opportunity while my two friends here were being put into the spacecraft to stand alone by myself out there and look at the rocket and the quietness and see the sun come up and the waves rolling in and the evidence of the millions of people watching, but nothing specific, and just so quiet, and to realize that indeed such a contrast was going to take place, all the frantic activity preparing the rocket, but it was so quiet up there for me personally, and that in a very few moments we were going to be departing in a great roar and off for a momentous event.
I thought we had a 90% chance of getting back safely to Earth on that flight, but only a 50-50 chance of making a successful landing on the first attempt. There's so many unknowns in that descending from lunar orbit down to the surface that had not been demonstrated yet by testing. It's a risk-reward equation, and you're able to accept a level of risk so long as it's commensurate with the reward that you will get by achieving the goal that you're after.
T-minus 1 minute, 35 seconds on the Apollo mission, the flight to land of the first men on the moon. All indications coming in to the control center at this time indicate we are go. 1 minute, 25 seconds and counting. Our status board indicates the third stage completely pressurized. 80-second mark has now been passed. We'll go on full internal power at the 50-second mark in the countdown. Guidance system goes on internal at 17 seconds, leading up to the ignition sequence at 8.9 seconds. We're approaching the 60-second mark on the Apollo 11 mission. T-minus 60 seconds and counting. We passed T-minus 60. 55 seconds and counting. Neil Armstrong just reported back. It's been a real smooth countdown. We passed the 50-second mark. Power transfer is complete. We're on internal power with the launch vehicle at this time. 40 seconds away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower clear.
We got a roll program.
Neil Armstrong reporting the roll and pitch program, which puts Apollo 11 on proper heading. Plus 30 seconds.
Roll complete and engine provision. One round.
Altitude's 2 miles.
All 11 Houston, you're good at 1 minute.
Downrange 1 mile. Altitude 3, 4 miles now. Velocity 2,195 feet per second.
11 Houston, thrust is go. All engines, you're looking good. Hi, Roger. You're loud and clear, Houston.
of maximum dynamic pressure now.
11 Houston, your guidance is converged. You're looking good.
Set 8 miles downrange, 12 miles high. Velocity 4,000 feet per second.
Stand by for mode 1 Charlie. Mark, mode 1 Charlie. 1 Charlie.
Cliff Charlesworth taking a staging status.
This is Houston, you are go for staging. Tower's gone. Roger, tower. Board cutoff.
Inboard engines out.
I'm in board cutoff. Houston, be advised the visual is go today. This is Houston, roger out. Yeah, they finally gave me a window to look at.
I think certainly to go as far away as the moon and look back on the Earth certainly does affect your perspective. And then when you see it, tiny as your thumbnail held out in front of you at arm's length, that sort of gets your attention. A beautiful sight, tiny, pristine, blue and white, very fragile-looking object, shining like a beautiful little headlight out there in the black velvet of space. It does change your perspective. It makes you think that we have to take better care of this little fragile entity, because it is fragile.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Slightly less than 1 minute to ignition, and everything is go.
Roger, Apollo 11's go.
Ignition. We confirm ignition, and the thrust is go. Apollo 11, this is Houston at 1 minute. Trajectory and guidance look good, and the stage is good.
Apollo 11. We're showing velocity 35,570 feet per second.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Around 3.5 minutes. You're still looking good. Your predicted cutoff is right on the nominal.
Roger, Apollo 11's go. We're showing velocity 35,570 feet per second. Altitude 177 nautical miles.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. You are go at 5 minutes.
Roger, Apollo 11's go.
Apollo 11, this is Houston. Your go for separation. Our system's recommendation is arm both spiral buses, over.
Okay, Spiral B coming armed. My intent is to use bottle primary one as per the checklist, therefore I just turned day on.
Roger, we concur with the logic.
All right, Neil, we need to rotate the spacecraft now. Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. $40 meters. $30 meters. 25. 20 meters. 15 meters. 10 meters. Fast. 8 meters. 6. 5 meters. 3. 2 meters. 1 meter. Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. $15 meters. 10 meters. 8 meters. 6. 5 meters. 3. 2 meters. 1 meter. Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. $15 meters. 10 meters. 8 meters. 6. 5 meters. 3. 2 meters. 1 meter. Okay, we got the Eagle in view. Moving forward. $10 meters. 8 meters. 6. 5 meters. 3. 2 meters. 1 meter. And capture.
Apollo 11, this is Houston, radio check, over.
Roger, we've got the high gain locked on now, I believe, auto track and now.
Okay, you're coming in loud and clear, but Mike is just barely readable.
How is Neil? How are you reading Mike?
Loud and clear now, Mike, and we understand that you are docked.
That's fine. Houston, we're ready for LEM ejection.
Roger, go for LEM ejection.
Thank you.
Apollo 11, this is Houston, over.
Roger, Houston, Apollo 11, go ahead.
Roger, could you give us some comments on how the transposition and docking went? Over.
Yeah, I thought it went pretty well, Houston, although I expect I used more gas than I've been using in the simulator. Except for using a little more gas, and I'd be interested in your numbers on that. Everything went nominally.
This is Houston. Roger, we copy.
Eagle, Houston, the alignment and the initialization look good to us, over.
Roger, thank you.
Eagle, Houston, would you have Columbia go to the high gain, yaw 0, pitch, -20, over?
See you later.
Apollo 11, Houston, we are go for undocking, over.
Roger, understand. Roger, Eagle, undock.
Roger, how does it look?
The Eagle has wings.
Roger. Eagle, Houston, we see you on the steerable, over.
I do believe you got thrusters on board that vehicle. Okay, you've got it. Do it, native.
Roger, let us know when you're ready to copy. We have a DOI pad and a PDI pad, over.
Guidance says we're go. Coming up on 5 minutes to ignition, Gene Kran's getting a go, no-go for descent.
Okay, all flight controllers, I'm going around the horn. Make your go, no-goes based on the data you had for an LOS. See, we got it back. Give you another few seconds. We're going, fine. Okay, retro, go. Vital, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Self-com, go. GNC, go. Ecom, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go to continue PDI.
5,200 feet. Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
Roger, understand. Go for landing. 3,000 feet. Top alarm. 1201. 1201.
Roger, 1201 alarm.
2,000 feet. 2,000 feet. Into the ag. 47 degrees.
Roger.
47 degrees.
Altitude 1,600. 1,400 feet, still looking very good.
Roger, 1202, we copy it.
700 feet, 21 down. 33 degrees. 540 feet down. 400 feet down. 900 feet down. 3.5. 11 forward.
Altitude 5,200 feet. Altitude 4,200.
Houston, you're go for landing, over.
Roger, understand. Go for landing. 3,000 feet. Top alarm. 1201.
1201. Roger, 1201 alarm.
2,000 feet. 2,000 feet. Into the ag. 47 degrees.
Roger.
Altitude
37
1,600.
degrees.
1,400 feet, still looking very good.
Roger, 1202, we copy it.
700 feet, 21 down. 33 degrees. 40 feet down. 430 down. 5 down. 3.5. 47 degrees. I'll leave it flu. Relay to us. See if they got me now. I got good signal strength in flu.
Okay, you should have me now, Houston.
Eagle, we got you now. It's looking good, over. Eagle, Houston, after yaw around, angled S-band pitch, -9er, yaw, +18.
Altitude 5,200 feet.
Manual out of deep control is good.
Roger, copy.
Altitude 4200.
Houston, you're a go for landing, over.
Roger, understand. Go for landing. 3,000 feet. Without alarm. 1201.
1201. Roger, 1201 alarm. We're go. Same type. We're go.
2,000 feet. 2,000 feet. Into the ag. 47 degrees.
Roger.
37 degrees.
Eagle looking great. You're go.
Altitude 1600. 1,400 feet, still looking very good.
Roger, 1202, we copy it.
35 degrees. 35 degrees. 750, coming down to 23. 700 feet, 21 down. 33 degrees. 100 feet, down at 19. 540 feet, down at 30, and at 15. At 400 feet, down at 9. Gate forward. 10 and 50 feet, down at 4. 36.5 down. They're pegged on horizontal velocity. 300 feet down, 3.5. 47 forward. On 1.5 down. 70. Got the shadow up there. 50 down at 2.5. 19 forward. Altitude, velocity, light. 8.5 down. 220 feet. 13 forward. 11 forward, coming down nicely. 200 feet. 4.5 down. 5.5 down. Within 60 feet. 6.5 down. 5.5 down. 9 forward. And 20 feet. 100 feet, 3.5 down, 9 forward. 5%. 185. Stay 75 feet. That's looking good, down a half. 6 forward.
60 seconds.
Lights on. Down 2.5. Forward. Forward. 40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up some dust. 30 feet, 2.5 down. Straight shadow. 4 forward. 4 forward, drift into the right a little. Down a half.
30 seconds.
Forward drift. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. ATA at a descent. Mode control both auto, descent engine command override off. Engine arm off. 413 is in.
We copy you down, Eagle.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're breathing again. Thanks a lot.
I'm at the foot of the ladder. The limb footbeds are only depressed in the surface about 1 or 2 inches. Although the surface appears to be very, very fine-grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. Ground mass is very fine. I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. As the surface is fine and powdery, I can pick it up loosely with my toe. It does adhere in fine layers, like powdered charcoal, to the sole and sides of my boot. I only go in a small fraction of an inch, maybe an eighth of an inch, but I can see the footprints of my boots and the treads and the fine sandy particles.
Yeah, this is Houston. We're copying.
There seems to be no difficulty in moving around as we suspected. It's even perhaps easier than the simulations of 16G that we performed in various simulations on the ground. Absolutely no trouble to walk around. Beautiful view. Isn't that something? Magnificent sight out here. Magnificent desolation. And incidentally, these rocks, very powdery surface.
The laser ranging retroflector experiment was deployed on Apollo 11, 14 and 15. It consists of a series of corner cube reflectors, which are a special type of mirror with a property of always reflecting an incoming light beam back in the direction it came from. These reflectors can be illuminated by laser beams aimed through large telescopes on Earth. The reflected laser beam is also observed with the telescope, providing a measurement of the round-trip distance between Earth and the Moon. This is the only Apollo experiment that is still returning data from the Moon. Many of these measurements have been made by McDonald Observatory in Texas. Laser beams are used because they remain tightly focused for large distances. Nevertheless, there is enough dispersion of the beam that is about 7 kilometers in diameter when it reaches the Moon and 20 kilometers in diameter when it returns to Earth. Because of this very weak signal,
It's a little difficult to dig through
the passive seismic experiment detected lunar moonquakes and provided information about the internal structure of the Moon. This experiment studied the propagation of seismic waves through the Moon and provided our most detailed look at the Moon's internal structure. The Apollo 11 seismometer returned data for just 3 weeks but provided a very useful look at lunar seismology. More advanced seismometers were deployed at the Apollo 12, 14, 15 and 16 landing sites and transmitted data to Earth until September 1977. Each of these seismometers measured all 3 components of ground displacement: up-down, north-south and east-west. If a seismic event is observed by 3 or more
something interesting in the bottom of this little crater here. I want to back up and partially close the hatch. Making sure not to lock it on my way out. Hey Neil, didn't I say we might see some purple rocks? Find the purple rocks? Yep. Okay, the descent engine did not leave a crater of any size. It has about 1 foot clearance on the ground. We're essentially on a very level place here. I can see some evidence of rays emanating from the descent engine, but very insignificant amount.
Neil, this is Houston. Based on your camera transfer with the LEC, do you foresee any difficulties in SRC transfer over?
Negative. Be advised that a lot of the rock samples out here, the hard rock samples, have what appear to be vesicles in the surface.
Houston, roger out.
Yeah, surface material powdery. I don't know how good your lens is, but if you can smudges above.
Tranquility Base, this is Houston. Could we get both of you on the camera for a minute, please?
Are you getting a TV picture now, Houston?
Neil, yes, we are getting a TV picture. Neil, this is Houston. We're getting a picture. You're not in at the present time. We can see the bag on the LEC being moved by Buzz, though. Here you come into our field of view.
Oh, that looks beautiful from here, Neil. It has a stark beauty all its own. It's like much of the high desert of the United States. It's different, but it's very pretty out here. My pocket open, Buzz? Yes, it is. It's not up against your suit, though. Hit it back once more. Or more toward the inside. Okay, that's good. Okay, Buzz, we ready to bring down the camera? I'm all ready. I think it's all squared away in good shape. Okay. Neil is now unveiling the plaque that is. For those who haven't read the plaque, we'll read the plaque that's on the front landing gear of this LEM. There's 2 hemispheres, one showing each of the 2 hemispheres of Earth. Underneath it says, okay, Houston, I'm going to change lenses on you.
The Lunar Flag Assembly, or LFA, was a kit containing a flag of the United States, designed to be planted by astronauts on the Moon during the Apollo program. 7 such flag assemblies were sent to the Moon. 6 of which were planted, the exception being the one carried on Apollo 13, which had to abort its landing due to a serious spacecraft failure. The nylon flags were hung on telescoping staffs and horizontal bars constructed of 1-inch anodized aluminium tubes. The flags were carried on the outside of the Apollo lunar module, most of them on the descent ladder inside. This is the solar wind composition experiment. The sun continually emits a flux of electrically charged particles into space. This is termed the solar wind. The Earth's magnetic field prevents these charged particles from reaching the Earth's surface, although in the Earth's polar regions these particles can reach the upper part of the atmosphere, causing auroras. The Moon is outside the Earth's magnetic field for most of each month and has a negligible atmosphere, allowing solar wind particles to reach the Moon's surface. The solar wind composition experiment was performed on Apollo 11, 12, 14, 15 and 16. It consisted of an aluminium foil sheet 1.4 metres by 0.3 metres that was deployed on a pole facing the sun.
Neil and Buzz, the President of the United States is in his office now and would like to say a few words to you. Over.
That would be an honor.
Go ahead, Mr. President. This is Houston out.
Hello, Neil and Buzz. I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House. And this certainly has to be the most historic telephone call ever made. I just can't tell you how proud we all are of what you do. For every American, this has to be the proudest day of our lives. And for people all over the world, I am sure they too join with America in recognizing what an immense feat this is. Because of what you have done, the heavens have become a part of man's world. And as you talk to us from the Sea of Tranquility, it inspires us to redouble our efforts to bring peace and tranquility to Earth. For one priceless moment in the whole history of man, all the people on this earth are truly one. One in their pride in what you have done, and one in our prayers that you will return safely to Earth.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor and privilege for us to be here representing not only the United States, but men of peace of all nations, and with interest and a curiosity and with a vision for the future. Honor for us to be able to participate here today.
And thank you very much, and I look forward, all of us look forward to seeing you on the Hornet on Thursday.
Okay, it's quite dark here in the shadow and a little hard for me to see that I have good footing. I'll work my way over into the sunlight here without looking directly into the sun.
Tranquility Base, Houston.
Roger, go ahead.
Roger, our guidance recommendation is pings, and you're cleared for takeoff.
Roger, understand. We're number one on the runway.
Roger.
36 feet per second up. 5-meter pitch over. Very smooth. Now let's come along. Very quiet ride. There's that much crater on there.
Thousand feet high, 80 feet per second vertical rise. Here you go, Houston. Request manual start override. Roger. 2,600 feet altitude. Here you go, Houston. You're looking good to us.
Houston, we got the service module going by.
Roger, thank you.
And it's rotating just like it should be. Thrusters are firing.
nautical miles high. Velocity 33,000 feet per second.
Houston, we'll have you for about 3-4 minutes through Redstone and then pick you up after blackout through Orion.
Roger.
Guidance reports Apollo 11 right down the middle of the corridor.
And 11 Houston, you're going over the hill there shortly. You're looking mighty fine to us.
See you later.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
Houston through Orion. Apollo 11 Houston, and the line, airboss has a visual contact. Apollo 11 Houston, standing by for your disk reading, over. Apollo 11, this is Hornet, over. Apollo 1, this is Apollo 1, read the last clear. Our position 1330. 16915.
Aircraft reports visual with 3 full shoots.
Condition of crew, over.
Okay, condition of crew, 3,500 feet on the way down.
11 and Hornet, copy. 11 Hornet, what's your splashdown error, over?
Okay, our splashdown error is our guaranteed longitude, 1330, 16 knots, 15.